Hello and welcome to Center for Victory's podcast of Your Best Day Yet. At Center for Victory, we're here to help unlock, reinforce, and enrich relationships through personal and professional development. I'm Eric Guy, Chief Victory Officer. Today, I'm excited to have another gentleman with a great name, Eric, as well, joining us. He's actually going to introduce himself because it pertains to the topic that we're going to talk about today, about how to make a positive impact with all the negativity that's going on around us. He's going to introduce himself, what he does in his company and his company as well. But I'm excited to have him. I've known him for a while now. But with that, let's jump into it, Eric, because I know you have, we've talked offline as well. I know you have a lot of information to share that's really very pertinent to what we've gone through over the past 18 months. So go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, and your company a little bit, please.
For sure. My name is Eric Posa. I'm president and CEO of Copeland Technology Solutions. I've been at that role for about a year now. Before that, I was vice president of operations. I'm involved in many different things in the community. I coach youth sports. I've been doing so since I was 18. I got 3 wonderful kids. I'm trying to also lead the charge on those, and a beautiful wife. And we live in a nice little quiet place with 3 acres of land, and I'm a very happy person. So my role at my organization has changed over the years. I've been with Copeland for about, I'd say about 20 years or so, but in between there, I started a small business, which later was absorbed by Copeland. So I've had a lot of experience being on my own, leading teams and coaching youth all the way from, 5 and 6 years old, all the way up until, 15, 16, which is the really tough times. So it's gotten me to this point now today where my role is basically to make sure that our company is going in the right direction. Everybody on board is feeling fulfilled and is improving themselves on a day-by-day basis. And the company is delivering a great service to the people we come in contact to every day.
Yeah. And what is it that your company does? So just for the listeners and folks watching.
Yeah, absolutely. We do managed services for information technology, IT. So we help organizations, small to medium businesses, leverage technology, use technology to improve their business in some way. So whether that's improving their product, getting out there to the market, taking more market share, improving the velocity of their operations, making them faster, more nimble. And then most importantly, which we've seen over the past couple of years, is adapt to different challenges in the business community.
Okay. So you were very challenged with COVID, right? Initially. Talk about your challenges and how you pivoted, because I think that's interesting in what we're talking about, because it could have really gone downhill, right? I mean, it could have went either direction. It just didn't sprout up and say, hey, look, this is right. So talk a little bit about that, what happened through COVID, how you all pivoted, as a company, because a lot of people go, oh, technology companies, but you still need to do things right to make an environment that's great where people want to work, and you've really upped your game there. So that's, I want to get to that as well.
Absolutely. So from a business standpoint, I'll never forget March 13th was a Sunday night. We still didn't know, we knew what was going to happen tomorrow and we didn't know how we were going to solve it. And I'll never forget that night at like 9:30 p.m. I saw a tweet and it sparked an idea, and we had a plan for the next morning. And I think what really was important to us is that morning we didn't have our usual stuff. We had a team meeting, and we basically said, listen, we're all going to go remote. Okay. And there's some, very experienced people in our organization that's very scared of, not having that tight community in the office. I can see everybody, we can talk, we can thrive. All of a sudden we're dispersing. And what we did that day, we had a choice. We could say, this is going to be hard. We'll figure it out, blah, 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 and be negative about our situation. And what we did was, as a team, we said, hey, we have an opportunity here. We are technology people. We get this. And many people don't. And they're going to be scared. They're going to be very nervous and anxious about this brand new thing of work from home. We as a team have an opportunity to make a difference. So we basically for 12, 14-hour days voluntarily. Our team, I didn't even tell them to do this, chose to help get everybody online. And we got 500 people online immediately in that first week. Wow. Working from home. And it was just a matter of setting the tone in that initial conversation, is that we can make a positive difference. We can help these organizations, and all it's going to do is lift up our entire community. Because now people can work from home. They can be with their kids who are remote learning. We're making it easy, and we're making it safer for the business and making them feel comfortable. So I think once we deliver that message that, hey, we are going to take this as a challenge, and we are going to deliver and help these people, whatever it takes, that everybody just felt that they could do it, and they really stepped up. I'm very proud of the way our team responded.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up one thing that I think I still struggle with, if I'm being honest, because I know the companies that we work with also struggle with it as well. And I don't know if you can give any advice for it. I think you can, but that whole idea of, you know, you said that tight-knit community, you come into the office and then all of a sudden we're remote. Mm-hmm. Like, how did you keep it more positive most of the time through that? And like, tell us what you're doing like today with that.
From a leadership perspective, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There were times that were tough. I'm getting Zoom fatigue. I'm missing people. I'm a people guy. I like to interact. I like to listen. I like to have conversations, and it's just different when you're not in person. But it's your responsibility as leadership to put on that positive. The first interaction you get on these meetings, it's a joke. It's something. You're lightening the mood. You're getting deep into someone. How you doing? And truly listening and engaging with that person. And then you ask. So what I did was I challenged the team. I said, guys, we're going to be away from each other for a while. How can we have some fun? How can we make this the best that we can? And you think a bunch of computer guys would be like, hey, let's play video games, right? Yeah. So to be honest, they want to do a fitness challenge, right? So every day we set up a challenge. People log their time, their steps, their diets. And we also did some video games, and I'm not gonna lie. So we did some, Jackbox sessions and some online poker and stuff like that. And we knew we weren't going to be face to face, but we made the best of it, knowing that other people are struggling a lot worse than we are. But it's that constant reminder, guys, listen, we're unique, we're nerds, we're geeks. This is easy for us. Some people can't handle this, and we have to be empathetic to that.
Wow, a bunch of geeks being empathetic, huh?
It sounds like an oxymoron, doesn't it?
No, but you did it. I mean, I'm joking about that, but you did it, right? I mean, you pivoted, you switched. Is there any other things that you kind of attribute that success with? Because are you still working remote?
So we're kind of hybrid.
Okay.
And to be honest, I mean, I circle back with Copeland about 5-6 years, well, 2014-7. Holy cow, look at that. And it took a long time to shift from the business that we were, which was great foundation, great name, things like that, to the business of today, which is transparency, authenticity. And I think once I started showing the team my fears, my challenges, my weaknesses, and talking about that openly, it was okay for them to tell me they're having a bad day. And to truly be there for another person, not just, hey, if there's anything I can do, and kind of like a dismissive, hey, I'll help you. Truly saying, listen, I know you're struggling with something. How can I help you? Can I do this? I have an idea about that. Do you need this off your plate? Let's have a one-to-one. Let's talk. I think going through that and being truly interested in your team's well-being elevates their performance to everybody else.
Were there certain other things that you made sure that you did or still doing that people could do, especially because people are really struggling with this whole idea of remote, the hybrid, or people taking advantage of the company, or some as it, or we taxing people, making them work too hard, like the Zoom fatigue and all that kind of, which is very real. I mean, I went through that as well.
Yeah.
how do you guys like manage through that? Are there one or two things? I know there's a lot of things that you're doing, but there like one or two things that you'd say, like, make sure you do this?
Absolutely. The first thing that jumps to mind is being uncomfortable. People are very uncomfortable with not what they don't see and what they don't know. The biggest thing I would do is I would set daily and weekly goals. And if these things get done, regardless of the way in which or the time in which, obviously the hard stop at the end of the week or the end of the day, those things, as long as they get done, it's a success. Okay. Someone putting in exactly 80 or 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, things like that. We got to be a little adaptive here and understand that people don't work very well sitting in a computer for 8 hours. And we just have to accept that. It's okay if someone takes a 15-minute break to go for a walk. It's different. And I understand change is different. So I think most importantly, setting more a little bit higher level goals instead of like specific of working all day and getting your time in, to accomplishing these 3 tasks this week that are very successful for the company, and then yourself as well, doing those daily. And I also think the second thing that we put in just recently in the past few months, I think has really helped, is this concept of you need to spend time learning as well. Some time in thought, some time not bothered, focus time. And what we've learned through we're a Microsoft reseller, and they have this thing called focus time. And I really never took it to heart. I love it. It blocks everything from you so you can focus on your job and what you can do. And carving out that hour and a half a day or hour a day is very important for you and your team. So now we have our team spending 3-4 hours a week, spending time in thought, learning about something. They have specific topics, and we're not, hey, why aren't you working? It's, oh, you're spending some time in thought, we'll leave you be. And what we found is the group, the team is they're very communicative. They're communicative. And they say, hey, I'm offline for 30 minutes. I'm offline for 15, AFK, away from keyboard. And we have to be very okay with that. And it took a bit for me. I'm not gonna say, oh, it was easy for me. It took a bit, right?
Yeah.
Are they really there? Does it really matter? And as long as you have a net in place that if something bad does happen and we gotta get a hold of you,
Yeah.
they're available.
Yeah. Now, the biggest thing that, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think probably what you've done that other companies and people can replicate is you actually have given your folks permission to do that. Because some of us just can't, like, we just need that permission. Nobody said, hey, you got to be banging away on your keyboard 15, 16 hours a day. I think there's that communication that needs to say, look, like what you just said, go take a walk, get away from your computer, get in the sun. I like AFK. I mean, is that popular? Maybe I'm just not keeping up with things, but I like that, away from keyboard. I like that. I'm going to use that today.
Don't think for 1 second I know all these acronyms. Okay, I have to Google them just like everybody else.
Away from keyboard. I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it may sound like you're talking to a child or something, but just saying, hey, it's okay to do that. Okay, you need that break. Starting off meetings with, hey, everyone, who's got some good news, right? Give me something good. Start it off on a positive, man. The Bills, our team, they just got beat. It was a horrible game, right? The first thing we talk about Monday morning is good news. Someone started going towards, moping town, and I said, you turn it. Come on, we're talking good news now. We can talk later about that. We started off with positive news. If someone wants to work outside and I hear birds chirping in the background and their kids are playing in the back, you just gotta let some stuff go. You have to adapt. Everybody's different.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I think looking at your name, Copeland, right? I think we need to learn how to cope better with these guys. And you've really given us some good things to take a hold of. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed that, but there are like 5 or 6 different things that you just mentioned in there. I mean, I like the focus time. We always talk about taking a clarity break. I know we do that. I mean, I'm not the best at it because I like to go and grind too. So that's good, giving permission to people, starting with the positive. As we end, anything else that you could say that would help folks?
I mean, the only thing I would just say is every day you have an opportunity to affect somebody in some way. Okay. You can get wrapped up in what's happening at the highest levels, things that you can't control. Every day you have an opportunity to give something into the people around you, and you have an opportunity to make that positive. So, you set out on social media, you set out on conversations, phone calls. I love Brene Brown, when she talks about people, the first thing you say, how you doing? Be like, oh my God, I'm so busy. Throw a wrench in that and say, I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Or I'm doing great. Like just inject that to somebody else. And the best way to do that is to give a proper compliment or proper feedback, especially in the workplace. I mean, so you can, this is one of the things I think as a company we do very well, is that we're not just saying, hey, good job. Okay, thanks, good job. Hey, you did really well. You worked really hard. Okay, great, thanks. We take it that next step further and we say, hey, you did this specific thing. It helped the company in this way. And because of that, I am truly grateful for what you did. And you made a difference in this way. And when you take an extra moment to give true feedback that you thought about, and you were intentional about what you're saying to this person, it changes their response to, oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, good job. All right, great. To, wow, that was impactful.
Mm-hmm.
I changed something. I made a positive impact. I need to do this again. That was a good thing. So if anything I can say is during challenging times, you do your best to inject positivity into everybody around you in some way.
That's a great way to end. I'd love to have you back, Eric, because you have good tips that you've been, and I love how your company's grown, what they're doing, how you've pivoted. Thanks for all these handful of tips. Really appreciate it. Again, love to have you back. But that's it for today, folks. We appreciate you watching, listening. Make sure you leave a like and leave a comment down in the comments below. If you'd like more information, you can visit our website at centerforvictory.com. How do they get a hold of you, Eric?
LinkedIn, or I don't do much with Twitter anymore. It's just, there's too much going on, but email eposa@copelandts.com. You can go to copelandts.com and check us out. The great thing about us is we're actually tech people who like to teach people stuff. So if we can't help you with something, we'll definitely teach you something nerdy or cool that can help your day. So
that's awesome.
Reach out.
All right, we appreciate that. And then as we end, just remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make this your best day yet.
Absolutely. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it.